That is one of my... I have two major gripes with this game. This is the next level.
I was thinking like, oh, the game was just giving you a demo of how the game's really played. Now let's play the game for real.
Now the title screen. Yeah. It's Kingdom Hearts 2 all over again.
Yeah, I have two major gripes to this game. I love this game a lot, but I have two major gripes. Number one is the length, which we will see by the time I finish the game. A speed run of it, basically. I'm not really doing a speed run, but I can beat it very quickly, and most people can. It's not one of those games that takes you hours and hours and hours to beat. You can beat everything.
It's an incredibly short game. To the point. It's incredibly short to the point where it makes you think that it was a tech demo for something else.
Yes. It is very short. And the other problem I have with the game is that you have to do the boss stuff twice, the exact same way with both Clarice and Elliot. There is nothing different between the two.
So you're playing the entire game twice?
Not the whole game, just the final level twice. So Clarice and Elliot each have their own unique main three stages. And like their boss fights and everything, but the actual fight with the head boss, whose name is Wise Man, that is much more. That is the exact same level for both of them.
So for Knights Noobzors like the Walrus King and myself, what's this game about? Like, why is there a dream state? Who's Elliot? Why was there a clown in a room that you trapped behind a door?
Why did you slam it so violently?
Clowns, I think the reason why they use like that clown imagery is because they are so prevalent in nightmares, and that's kind of the thing is the all the enemies, and one of the things you realize too is Knights, his or herself, is also a part of this.
Yeah, Knights is intentionally androgynous.
Yes, it's an androgynous person, I guess you can say. And if you guys play the awful game, not awful, but the not as good game for the Wii, Journey into Dreams, Knight's Journey into Dreams, that part is really weirdly hashed out.
I'm pretty sure you're female now, not that you have a voice.
Yes, and the voice acting is awful, and that literally ruins the game.
Was it as bad as Two Worlds voice acting?
I've never played Two Worlds.
You played the demo. So you got up to the point where the guy said, "Perchance."
Oh.
Do you remember that?
Actually, it was worse.
That's all the screenplay said.
It was worse than Two Worlds.
It's worse than Two Worlds.
I'm gonna have to play this just to see this.
Alright.
I'll make a night sandwich.
So yeah. I mean, like I said, I played this game a lot. I kind of know where I need to go.
Everything from the back of your hand, pretty much.
Yeah. So I'm doing these things. I know how to beat all the bosses. A lot of these things took me... I mean, I was a kid when I played the game, but they take a lot of people's time to figure out.
Yeah, Russ is actually that rare breed that bought a Saturn when it first came out.
Oh, yes. I like Sega Saturn. And if only I had all the access to the Japanese games.
Just get an action replay like I did.
I will. At some point, I will.
Yeah, just for a little note out there. Like, I don't have a Japanese Saturn like some people do. People think I do. No, I bought an action replay that lets me play imports.
What's more important here, rings or stars? Or sorry, stars. Yeah, stars or rings.
That dreidel thing. What was that?
Well, as you know, Knights is of the Jewish tradition. You know?
Well, it clearly is of the candy tradition too. So all those little things come up with like candy little.
Yeah. Everything just kind of gives you points, so they all have their own thing. I guess they're not really like. Better things for scores.
It's actually funny because looking back into the way Knights plays, I am convinced that for those fans of Sonic Unleashed, the HD versions for the 360 and PS3, the final boss, the Supersonic boss fight against Perfect Dark Chaos, is pretty much a ginormous shout out to Knights because it controls almost exactly the same. You know, flying in circles. You know, using having a boost feature, pretty much having to encircling the dragon heads in order to damage them. I'm pretty sure it's a giant shout out to Knights, and it makes you wonder why they don't exactly capitalize, because I'm pretty sure a Knights game will look pretty good in an HD console. In fact, if I recall correctly, wasn't there a PS2 port that was Japan only?
For Knights?
Yeah, for Knights Journey into Dreams. Not Journey into Dreams, Knights into Dreams was actually remade for the PS2 with PS2 quality graphics. The only problem is that it's Japanese import.
Yeah, I've never heard of that. I wouldn't know.
I'll have to look into that.
I mean, how much better would the PS2 really look than this? I mean,
well, I mean, it'd be a little smoother, higher polygon count. You see, not as much.
Well, they're both 32-bit. So for the
PS2 is much harder than 32-bit.
Was it? Or yeah. Oh, sorry, I thought I was thinking.
No, not PS1. I'm talking about PS2.
Oh yeah, PS2 definitely was much higher than 32.
Well, yeah.
I never actually seen it in action. Though. I gotta actually look that up.
Yeah, I've actually never heard of that myself. Get that yet. So yeah, the big thing here is points over time. So that's why, like, even after I get the Idia, I still keep playing because that gets my points up. Time isn't as big of a factor, but you don't want to run out of it because you will. If you run out of time, even if you get back to the thing as Elliot or Clarice, you will go get like an F grade either way. So it is kind of harsh. Again, it is. I mean, if you don't know what you're doing, it is kind of easy to run out of time. If you're just not, or if you're just fooling around too much and when you shouldn't be.
Doesn't the course though? Aren't you on a rail? So how can you time out exactly? Won't you complete the course in time no matter what?
It is free flowing, but like I mean, you have to get back to this thing here before time runs out.
Won't the course take you back there in time, or do you?
Well, I'm controlling this.
Okay.
So like, it's not like I'm.
Yeah. You're restricted to 2D movements,
yes.
But you can move back and forth at your leisure.
Okay.
Other thing I probably should have mentioned as well, you get more points, and I'm not really worried about too much about this, but like you will get a lot more points if you like chain things together, like pick up items in succession and whatnot, or like
there's a griffin.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a griffin up there. Yeah. So what is that thing up there in the upper left there? That second time it came up, it's or it might have come up a bit more than that. It has like that octopus over there, and then it has the orbs you're collecting, it looks like, and then it has 4 color gradients.
Nice turns into a sled.
Is that like telling you if you're failing? Or
the thing in the top left, that's your lum count, the blue things that you're collecting to get to actually get the Idias. And the when it turns like orange and red, that means you're getting that means you have enough to actually pass the level or go back to the night capture, this thing here.
So, what turns orange or red? Is it like
the numbers? Well, watch. I'll get enough here. See how it's already orange?
Okay.
The number 24.
So you have enough to pass.
Yeah, I can go get the idiot now. I just need to fly into the box thing.
Oh my god.
What?
The sled sections from Holoska make so much sense now. It's another. I'm bringing up Sonic Unleashed again. I'm starting to think a lot of elements are borrowed from Knights actually now.
They really
that
are.
sled section's ripped. That Holoska section is ripped right out of Knights.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I don't think I actually finished this point, but in case I didn't. Point of the game, like I said, these are like dreams that you're partaking in. That's why everything's kind of like. That's why Knights can turn into a sled. That's why I can fly around. And that was kind of the cool thing about the game is like it was really referencing Dream World, and it brings up a lot of cool things about like lucid dreaming and whatnot. And I mean, this game really has like a huge cult following. Like people.
So get some LSD, try this game, and this is what real life will be like for you after you've had enough LSD.
Sure.
Mushrooms, whatever.
Well, sure. In your mind, you're riding a bobsled made of an androgynous creature of the night.
Yeah.
But what are you doing in real life to compensate that?
Well, I mean, your neighbor has a large dog, and you're cruising down the sidewalk in your large metropolitan city, and all those things you're dodging are small children trying to get out of your way.
Exactly.
So what is this story about? Like, why is there a Jester? Why is there Elliot? And why should I care?
Knights chose Clarice and Elliot. Now, there's one of these things, you don't really know like what I'm doing, but when he lights the mice, you want to be able to knock him off. And basically, the idea of this boss fight is to kill all the mice. I used to be able to do this like this, but I can't. It gets difficult sometimes.
How did I know there was a boss fight coming, or is it just
I think there's a boss fight at the end of each world.
Okay.
Yeah, every time I do 4. If those things light too long, I'm actually doing very poorly right now, forgive me.
Yeah, in case you're wondering, the PS2 was 64-bit. It was on the same level as the N64.
The N64? But it probably had higher polygon count, so that's what it is.
And once the cat's trapped, you just run into him.
Well,
and it's
that's cartridge versus disc, so...
Yeah, I guess so. Well, at least you won the fight. But then you get a very high score, though. You said you were doing terribly.
Usually what I can do, I can just... If I had the actual right analog, I could just like do this the whole time and keep flying into the mice.
So I blinked. What did you do? I wasn't sure what game was being played. I looked away for a second.
You basically, for that boss fight, you actually have to stop the cat from having anywhere to like land on, and those mice puppet things are where that cat can land on. And he like when he lands on them, he lights them kind of like fireworks, and you have to knock them before they shoot off or they hit you and you lose time.
Wow, you really beat that pyro pussy pretty quick.
Yes. This is this level. Realizing what you said. Just realize what you said.